Good morning, everyone. Today we're announcing that the ACT Policing COVID response team's resources have been bolstered significantly with the assistance of our colleagues from ESA. Both SES and RFS volunteers have today joined the task force and are helping us with our home quarantine COVID compliance checks.
So how will that work?
So we have a number of SES and RFS staff in our facility here. They are assisting us with the compliance checks. They're taking phone calls from persons in compliance that are receiving a text, and will ensure that that person is understanding of the quarantine requirements and also checking on their wellbeing to make sure that whilst they're in quarantine that their wellbeing is being looked after. Firstly, we are still conducting our home compliance checks, our physical home compliance checks. Our territory targeting teams are still going out every day doing checks as we always have been. We've been bolstered in an additional support framework by SES and RFS to ensure that not only we are seeing the people that we can do, but people that of a lower risk are also being checked on and made sure they're okay.
Just how many SES?
We've got today 15 of our colleagues there helping us out, and they'll work a day shift in there with us and will help us out every day this week.
Is it just answering phones?
So we've had a significant increase in the persons in quarantine in the last few days with the increase in COVID hotspots. We now have over 7,500 persons in home quarantine in the ACT. The numbers that we're able to get the assistance with our colleagues, at the moment we're noticing already that we're contacting over 100 people every hour that we wouldn't have been able to check on whilst they're in quarantine. So that's a significant increase in terms of the ACT policing and RFS, SES support to these persons.
How many in-person checks are being done?
We're averaging at the moment, on days where just our primary teams are there, we're averaging about 90 a day in-person checks are being done. When we have days of action, which we quite often do, we'll do up to 1,000 in-person checks as well.
What's the compliance rate been?
The compliance rate in the ACT has been extraordinarily high. People understand why we're doing it, and we have found very much a high level of support from persons in those compliance checks.
Do you have any instances yet?
Team's going really well. Let me just first off say is ESA is extremely proud to continue to support the whole of government support to COVID, and that includes assisting the ACT Police and Health since March of last year. So we reassess that on an ongoing basis. At this stage we're locked in for the whole week of providing that support to ACT Policing. Both SES and RFS volunteers are providing that support. As we already stated, there's 15 members from both services that are inside answering phones at the moment. I'm extremely proud of the volunteers, especially my volunteers from SES, and no different for the volunteers from RFS. It's amazing what these guys and girls actually want to provide to the community and provide safety and protection in a whole bunch of different activities. And we saw that through the bushfires last year, we saw that through the hailstorms, and we see that now through COVID. And we've been providing that service in response to the whole of government approach since March last year.